when I got into the St. Petersburg State University, it was quite boring just to study because it was too easy. So I thought, what can I do there? I created a website for the students of my faculty first. I organized the creation of digital answers to all exams and digitalized version of all lectures, which was something very unique back then. Remember, it was 25 years ago. I would put together a website where I would publish all these materials, and pretty soon it became super popular. I opened a discussion forum there. In a few years, I expanded to the university with all of its other departments, and then to other universities. We ended up having tens of thousands of users just as a students portal. We had all kinds of social features there, friends lists, photo albums, profiles, blogs, all of it. It was quite successful. And after I graduated the university, one of my ex-classmates from the school reached out to me after reading about my successes in a newspaper, the main business newspaper of St. Petersburg. And he asked me, are you trying to build a Russian Facebook? I said, I'm not sure. What's Facebook? So we met. Since he graduated in American University 2 years before that, he showed me Facebook. I thought, well, I can already have all of this technology, but it's valuable to know which elements I should get rid of in order to scale this thing and have millions of users. This is also something people don't appreciate, that sometimes in order to move forward and have more success, you have to get rid of things, including technology. Getting rid of features is super important.
Simplify, both for scaling and for making it amenable to just growing the user base where people get it immediately.
Yes. Otherwise, it's just too complicated for the new user. The existing users will be happy, they'll be praising you, they will be asking you to add more stuff to make it even more complicated. So it's easy to lose track and get disoriented if you're only relying on the feedback of existing users. So as a result, I started the website called Vkontakte, or VK. It means in touch in Russian. Initially, to solve my own personal problem, I graduated the university that same year, and I wanted to be in touch, remain in touch with my ex-classmates from the university and the other fellow students. And of course, as a 20-year-old, I wanted to meet other people, including good-looking girls. So I started to build it from scratch. For that one, I thought I'm not going to use any third-party libraries, modules, because I want to make it as efficient as possible. I was obsessing over every line of code. But then how do you start something that large? Like, I didn't have any prior experience of creating a project of that scale, which would involve everything. Before, I would reuse some existing solutions. Here, I wanted to build from scratch. So I called my brother. He was a postdoc student in Germany at that time, in the Max Planck University, and I asked him, what should I start from? And he told me, just build a module to authorize users. Just not just to log in,
Yeah.
not even to sign up, just to log in. Because you can pre-populate the database with credentials and emails and passwords. Doesn't really matter. But once you see that you can type in your password and email and you're in, and it tells you, hello, using your name, then you will have a clear understanding where to go from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
That's one of the best advice I've ever got in my life. It worked perfectly, by the way. I started to build it, and before I knew it, I would have there on that website photo albums, private messages, this guest book we used to call The Wall back on VK, and I guess in the early days of Facebook. We'd end up building something even more sophisticated than Facebook at the time, with more features. I had a girlfriend at the time. I asked her, we need to somehow come up with a database of all Russian schools and universities and the departments and subdivisions. She did a great job trying to source all this information online, or sometimes writing emails to universities saying which departments you have exactly at this point. We need to know, or reaching out to the Department of Education, both in Russia and then in Ukraine, and then eventually in Belarus and in Kazakhstan and other countries where VK ended up to be the largest and most popular social network. So we did a few things that were quite unique at the time. And for the first almost a year, I was the single employee of the company. I was the back-end engineer, the front-end engineer, the designer. I was the customer support officer. I was the marketing guy as well, coming up with all the wordings and the announcements, coming up with competitions to promote VK, which worked quite well. That was an incredible experience that gave me knowledge of every aspect of a social networking platform.
Also, understanding of how much a single person can do.
Exactly. It's one of the reasons why I'd like to think I'm an efficient project manager and product manager inside Telegram, because I will not take anything but ambitious deadlines from my team members. If somebody gives me, oh, I need 3 weeks to do that, I would reply, well, I built the first version of VK in just 2 weeks. Why would you need 3 weeks? It seems like something you could make real in just 3 days. 3 weeks? What are you going to do the rest of the 3 weeks apart from these 3 days? And, the team knows me. And that's why we are able today at Telegram to move at a very good pace of innovation. Every month we're pushing several meaningful features. I think out competing everybody else in this industry in terms of what you can do within a short time frame. So yes, that experience was invaluable.